The Atlanta Falcons traded quarterback Matt Ryan to the Colts for a third-round pick in this year's draft. So how do you like the fit for Matt Ryan's fantasy potential? Now, Ryan did thrive in a play-action heavy offense under former Falcons offensive coordinator Kyle Shanahan. And during that season, Atlanta won the NFC. So now he's got weapons like Jonathan Taylor, Michael Pittman. Like, Steve, how do we feel about this?
Yeah, speaking of beautiful art, you look great today.
Oh my God.
But let's
Thank you.
About Matt Ryan going to the Colts, this revolving carousel of quarterbacks that this team has endured since Andrew Luck shockingly announced his retirement. It's Jacoby Brissett. What? It's Carson Wentz. What? It's Matt Ryan. Look, Matt Ryan is not going to be the long-term option here either. He is approaching 40. He's getting up there, 37, 38, I think, to begin the season. And it's not like he exactly has a plethora of weapons at his disposal. You mentioned Jonathan Taylor. You mentioned Michael Pittman. You stopped after that. That wasn't on purpose because I guarantee you, you can't name 2 or 3 other wide receivers left on that team. This is going to be a team that once again relies upon Jonathan Taylor heavily. And why wouldn't you? Because look at how much of success they had last year. They just couldn't overcome the Jaguars, and that basically knocked them out of the playoffs. There's not much is going to change here. I do see there is an upgrade with Matt Ryan. He is going to be able to throw downfield better than Carson Wentz, but we're not talking about a lot of receivers that he has at his disposal. So I'm not considering this much of an upgrade, but really anything is an upgrade at this point over Carson Wentz.
Jeff, Matt Ryan is 36 years old, but he will be 37 on May 17th.
He's basically dead, Jesse.
Yeah, I know.
Right.
He's absolutely ancient for the NFL, not for the earth, but for the NFL.
This could be, Matt Ryan was pretty bad last year. We'll just start there, especially for fantasy purposes. I think he had 1 week where he had, depending on the scoring, he had over 20 fantasy points. So expectations for his fantasy potential should certainly be tempered. You're also putting him on a Colts team who passed the ball the 6th fewest times last year. They had the 6th fewest explosive pass plays downfield. This isn't an offense, as Steve alluded to, that has a plethora of weapons where they're just going to be chucking it down the field. This is a team that wants to run the ball. The nice thing for Matt Ryan is that he's going to be playing behind a good offensive line. He's going to have a running back who's just going to take the rock from him and take a bunch of pressure off. So there are going to be play option opportunities, and it's going to be interesting to see. This could be an indictment on Carson Wentz here. If Matt Ryan can bounce back and throw 30-plus touchdowns, maybe go over 4,000 yards in a lower volume pass offense, it's going to kind of show you just how the difference between even the carcass of Matt Ryan versus Carson Wentz in his prime. So it'll be interesting to see. I'm not super bullish on Matt Ryan this year. I think this move for the Colts is far better in real life. I think you're getting the leadership potential of Matt Ryan, a guy who can game manage in the playoffs better and get them that big win over Jacksonville when they actually needed it. So not really looking to draft Matt Ryan, to be honest. I think he will bounce back a bit, but this is more of a real life move for the Colts, and I think it will pay off.